Okay, so I guess this is the second video of the day. Still September 14th of 2025. Only it's going on 11 a.m. in the morning, and I've been up since 2 a.m. Amari fell asleep. He's awake now because he had to get his medicine, and he's got his organic prune juice. Well, Andre's still gooning on the computer, getting kind of snippy with me, which I'm not impressed with because he just got back this computer, and I'd hate to have to take it away from him again. I'm trying to tell him that he's tired, but he's, no, I'm not. And I'm like, you do realize you've been on that computer for 8 hours with your little friends. It's time to get off. So I don't know if it's going to be a battle axe today or what. So anyway, I'm in this little cubby, which is, that's where I want, you know what? No, I can't do, well, I'm getting damn close. I want to get in there and see if my meat grinder is in there. Yeah. And I want to put a mouse thing in there just to, but I'm so close. I'd have to move all this, but you can see what's going on here, right? So, right now I'm just working on those buckets. Let's see, what do we got? I just had glasses. Okay, so what we got here is what does it say? I can't even read it, man. Oh, coarse salt. So I think there's just salts in there. All kinds of different salts. Yeah. And there's salt in there as well. From in jars and different glass containers. Here we got some kind of beans. It doesn't say what kind of beans. So I should probably look in there quickly and list the types of beans in here, and I'd probably leave this here. This is sugar. I just topped it off a little bit. This is just white sugar, which, yeah. And now, because I'm in here, I had a little chair in here. I don't want to throw it out because, you know, I don't want to have to buy another one when the ones I got are breaking or just whatever. So anyway, I moved it into the bathroom anyway. That's my tools for when I get out on the porch. See, this is where I create extra work for myself, right? Where am I? This is where I create extra work for myself, as if I have time to pull out all this. It's not very much. It wouldn't really take that long. It's just a matter of doing it, right? And then, so I can get into that pantry and just, you know, get that monkey off my back. See if my meat grinder that I like, the old school one, right, is there, because I can't find it where I thought it would have been. And with that smash and grab thief in my house, you know, I wouldn't put it past her. Maybe she stole it, right, because she was stealing whatever she thought she wanted. Yeah, or maybe make money on. Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. Now I had a rag. I don't know where it went, because I'm washing the floors. I'm going back and forth to the sink. I don't know. Oh, here, no, that's not it. Cleaning out with a knife underneath the fridge, even just a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm so close. You know, I'd just love to know if that thing is in there, and then I don't have to think about it anymore. So maybe I'll just go out of my way to do that and be done with it. And then, yeah, so hold on a minute. Look what I found. Oh, joy. Why is this not working now? Here we go. I don't know, there's something wrong with this one. Look at that. A whole bunch of paper bags from Walmart. Another one of those. I went through like almost two. I still got a little way to go with the other one yet. Oh my God. And oh my God, this place is so gritty. This is for my microgreens if I want. That's what I set it up for. There's lights here and there's lights there. But I don't have a lot of space, so I put that crap in there. Hold on. Okay, maybe it's not all salt. I don't know what's in here anymore. I just know I wanted to get shit out of the way. So I put it in here. Maybe this is time to bring it out. It looks like there's a big ass jar in there. I don't know what's in that jar. I don't know. I got a few things in here. Let's. It's a Kinder Surprise. Let's see what's in the Kinder Surprise. Oh my God, as if I can see anything. Oh, and this stuff really does a number on my hip. Oh my God. I thought this thing was full of salt. No, what do we got? Some mung beans. Okay. Well, we want to keep them out. So maybe I should get this out of here and just put buckets in here after the fact. Alright, start fresh. Right? What is this? Flava beans. You know how old these things are? They're so old. I don't like flava beans though. I really don't. I just keep them. You know, beans don't really go old, so what else is in here? Oh my God. Something that maybe it's either been sitting for too long and between the heat and the moisture because of the window and the heat with the, what is that called? The vent. What you do is, what happens is when, okay, jars, they sweat sometimes, right? And then the food, it doesn't mold, but because it gets so cold, right? And then of course at some point within the year it heats up. You can get it's like, you know, when you ferment food and you get that little white there's a name for it. I can't remember the name for it. And it's fine. It's not poisonous or toxic or anything. It's just part of the fermenting process. It's when you get into the hair growth and the greens and the you know, the hues of the blues and the blacks and the browns, right? With the, you know, that's mold. That's different, okay? And this is, to me, if I remember correctly, this is apple pieces, right? So let's open it up and smell it. See if, now I don't see that well, but it doesn't look like there's a moth in there. What it looks like is the temperatures altered the food, and this is old anyway. So, yeah. And the first thing you do is you look for moths, right? So, alright. So this is no good. I don't want it. I don't care what it is. I think it's apple pieces. I know what it is. I don't want it. A moth may have gotten in there. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take out everything that's in here. I'm looking for, since I'm so close, I'm looking for that meat grinder because I want to use it. And maybe I did something else with the salt because there doesn't seem to be too much salt in here. I don't know. Something in there with no label. A nice, beautiful UV light. Solid black jar. Okay. Looks like kidney beans. Even has, this one has a label. Organic. Organic red kidney beans. 2021. Okay. Alright, so we got organic red kidney beans. What's in here? Oh my God, I wish I could see better. Of course I lost the flashlight. Here we go. I'm taking this out. 7C veggie flakes. This stuff is so expensive. It's almost like $200 for 5 pounds. I'm pretty sure, like $178 for 5 pounds of this stuff. And because it's seaweed, it's never gonna go bad, but still, it's so expensive. Oh yeah, you don't wanna mess with that. No. Oh, this is ridiculous. All I'm doing is creating myself work. Like, seriously. What's this? I don't see anything here. Oh, here we go. Let's see. See, I put down that flashlight and now I lost it. Yeah. Nobody's saying, "Whoa, what did you do, Miss Charney?" Oh, I don't know. Sorting out jars, washing floors, getting underneath things and wiping things down. And I have a spray. I don't know where I put that little flashlight. I have a spray that I mixed up for mildew in Tisha's room, because that room's always been like that. Just, you know, whatever, to try and keep it at bay. And it's one is just water and tea tree oil, and the other one I think is peppermint with tea tree oil. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And it's like I got like a real spider infestation in terms of, they must be very, 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 very small, because I have a lot of spider webs. Because, you know, I'm always cleaning something, right? In a house like this, you got to, eh? So, you know, what's the matter with this? There's something wrong with this flash. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm thinking to take that spray, like even in here, after I wipe everything down, I'm just going to take that tea tree oil and I'm going to spray the corners. I'm going to do tea tree and peppermint to try and control spiders. Yeah. Old wood, right? A lot of rotten wood between the garage and the porch and the stairs. See, in the old days, I'd be able to see this, but I can't. It's written in pen. Shredded. Carrots, I guess. 2011. Never been opened. No. Well, I don't know. We'll open it up and we'll see what we got. Whether it's human food, dog food, cat food, you know what I'm saying? As long as it doesn't have bugs or mold, it can still be used as food, right? I got fish heads in salmon-sized jars over there ready to make cat food. I actually brought it out for the cats because I kind of want to get on with it, so maybe I'll just keep that aside for cat food. Yeah. Oh, more beans of some kind. So I'll keep these out. So yeah, I'm going to take this thing out, and then I'm going to give it a good wipe. I don't know what I can put in here after the fact. Feeling it, right? To see if spiders got in it. Right. It doesn't seem too bad. What it is it's for records. Right? I had to bring it up from downstairs. Oh, what was I doing? Oh, I'm so sorry. I did that again. It's for records. Right? I have 2 of these in my room. They're great. I love them. And I had this full downstairs, but I had to bring it upstairs because of the problems in that bedroom that used to be Tisha's. Right? It's just, in part because of the gutter, never been fixed, and that whole corner just gets saturated with water. Just saturated. So it's under the floorboards. That's what it is, and it sweats. Yeah. And also, too, that room is next to the bathroom. And we've had plumbing problems down the wall. So between that and what's going on under the floorboard of that bedroom, it's always mildewy. So I have to bring these up, right? I have to bring up the records, squeeze them in everywhere else I could put them, anywhere, right? And then I have this container, but I have no place to put the container, so that's why I put it here. And then I was trying to clean the floor, right? Just for myself, not for no freaking social workers, for crying out loud. Like I said, I wish I had a functioning kitchen. Yeah, but whatever. I'm happy. I'm happy to be in this little corner, checking in on my little Kinder Surprises. What's in here? What do you think? It could be black beans, because I can't see what it is, right? It could be black beans, which would be fine because they're dry and fermented and they're not going nowhere. Or maybe it could be some kind of a date. The way it sounds like, to me, I'm thinking black beans, which is kind of like, wouldn't mind making a meal with a few little black beans in it. Why not? No, these are a big saltine raisin, or a Thompson raisin. They're big.
Imagine a teacher asking, "What's your name, young man?" And the boy replies, "When he dies, it will happen." Or the teacher says, "Did you finish your
Raisins don't mold.
When he dies, it will happen."
The only way a raisin would mold
Wasn't in English. In the Semitic language,
is if
the name
water
was
got in.
Methuselah. Enoch
You'd have to have the
when
water
his son died, God's judgment
to make it mold.
And because God is patient, Methuselah lived longer than anyone else ever recorded. Isn't that amazing? After 900
What? That's another Kinder Surprise.
Methuselah
Oh my God, what's this?
and the very year he died,
Oh, here we go.
the rain began to fall and the
Oh
great
my God.
His grandson Noah was alive at that time. When you compare the years of the patriarchs, you see the flood started in the
Cherries.
when Methuselah died.
Now this I won't keep.
Some people think Methuselah drowned in the flood.
I don't know why I kept them,
True.
because these are from 2011, but I already know I don't like cherries.
Enoch walked with God.
I probably dehydrated them.
God took him away without death.
I must have, 2011.
His grandson
And I don't know, maybe I felt sorry for them or something.
building a huge ark.
But I don't think I'm going to keep these.
Noah had heard the message preached by Enoch. That judgment was coming. He also understood
The only thing that happened to them,
which warned that the end would come when Methuselah
they don't smell bad. They smell like a dehydrated fruit, honestly.
didn't just live, have kids, die.
There's no mold, no mildew. I don't smell anything like that.
His story was short, but powerful.
But they oxidized.
Walk with God was so pure that it became his
Right.
testimony.
That's a very old cherry.
God simply took Enoch away. Maybe their fellowship was so deep
Let's see.
that God brought him into his presence. The book of Hebrews says,
Honestly, it doesn't taste bad.
was taken from this life, so that he did not experience death.
And yeah,
He could not be found.
I'd say they were red cherries, the big ones, those big juicy ones.
Before he was taken,
Yeah,
he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith,
as long as there's no bugs,
because anyone
no mildew. Mildew. There's a difference between that
rewards those who
little white film I was telling you that can collect in the inside of the jar because of the temperature changes as it sits, compared to actual mildew, which is the beginning stages to mold. Okay? There's a difference, right?
Noah's faith was built by
As long as you don't have the mildew, the mold, or the pests,
Romans 10:17.
and you find this in your pantry
Comes from,
because you forgot about it,
and the message is heard through the word about Christ.
well,
And
it's not that bad. It really isn't. So it's not worth it. I wouldn't throw it out.
without a preacher,
I could nibble on these throughout the day if I wanted to. Yeah. You're not going to get botulism with it, because if you're thinking, ooh, right, bacteria. First of all, these are foods with high sugar, natural sugar, which is a natural preservative, to which
Genesis 6:3 says the
salt is a natural preservative.
Spirit spoke
Fats, like the lards and the tallows, if you cover things enough, right, it becomes a preservative. Obviously the vinegars and those things, right, become preservatives. But when it comes to a food source, the sugar itself within the food becomes the preservative. The only thing that can contaminate it to make it grow mold or mildew would be introducing water or having a bug in it that started to multiply, and then they create their own ecosystem within the jar itself. So by the time you come back, it's not even what you it doesn't even look like what it says on the label. It's in the jar. No, it looks like it was inhabited by a bunch of moths, because it was, by the time you get to it maybe. So I don't mind that. That actually tastes pretty good. That's not too bad. And I can still, after all these years, taste a bit of a cherry taste. And if you cook it up, cut it up, put it into cookies, whatever, you know, right? What's in here? I don't know. I don't see no label. If I had to put a guess on it, I say onions. Some form of onion that's oxidized in terms of color.
Are you over 45 years old and live in Canada? Then watch this.
Okay.
This month only, we are looking for
Now,
500
let's open up this one and just see.
improving your hearing.
Right?
Only now you can take a free hearing test.
Since I don't like putting labels on things. And that's assuming that I can open it up.
Hearing aid for free.
Maybe not.
Learn more button and answer
Because I did something here.
Then our experts will organize
Whatever it was, this was in my, this goes back a long way too,
these free tests.
because this was in my beginning days of food prep. I know this, right? Because of the way I tried to seal the lid for long-term food storage. And obviously there's tape on here, so I'd have to cut that off. I don't think that's apple. It's one of two things. It's either apple pieces that are severely oxidized, which in this case would probably go into the compost, or it's onions, right? So we'll check into that later and see what that's about. I'm not too worried about that. Oh yeah, we don't want to throw out our sea vegetables because you're just wasting a lot of money there. That in itself, 100, okay, so 70, 75 is 150, so 75.50, so about $80. That's about $80 worth of sea vegetables right there. I think you get 2 jars in a bit, not much out of 5 pounds. No. $80 in sea vegetables. Okay, so what's this? If it's what I think it is, I'd be happy, because dried, seedless. Oh, my feet are hurting me now. What I'm thinking is it looks like dates. Now, the thing about dates, you kind of have to get, and the jar is sweat. I can feel it. When I say a jar sweats, it kind of comes out feeling like there's grease on it. Right? Because of the, and it really, it just boils down to the moisture change. You know, in this corner, especially with the cracks and everything and underneath coming in the cold, it gets really, really, really cold. So, you know, when they say cool, dark place to store your jars, cool is better than cold. Although cold is good too, because, you know, especially when you got grease in the jars, as in home canning, right? Because then the grease solidifies at the top of the jar and it doesn't crawl, right? Where this kind of stuff, you know, would probably do better where it's not so quote-unquote cold, where there's a lot of humidity, because the cold comes in with the humidity. I mean, the humidity comes in with the cold. So what happens is the water kind of attaches itself to that humidity. Right, and that's what you end up getting. I just wiped down this jar. Okay. I'll just wipe my hands on my shirt. I don't know if I can open this. Now, one time I made lunch for Mark Kane when he was school and he was little. I don't know what grade, maybe 3 or 4 or something like that. I don't know what grade he was in. Anyway, I had dates in a jar similar to this, and I gave him dates for a snack. And apparently he took a bite, and he said it had like moth larvae crawling around. So to this day, he doesn't like dates. But if I cook him up and make dates square, he's going to like the dates. And because I've got all this oatmeal kicking around, I've been kind of wanting making dates square. And I don't want to go off and buy dates because I've got lots and lots of dates. I just need to find them because, you know, you do this stuff, you forget, right? Say, lucky me, maybe this is what this is. So why don't we see if we can open up this jar. Not that hard. As long as a moth doesn't fly out, it doesn't look like it. From what I can tell, it looks clean. I gotta be careful the bloody thing will fly in, though. We'll just... Oh no, this is not that. What the hell is this? This is seaweed. This is freaking seaweed. But it'll be good for cooking. I can throw some of this into Mari's food. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be good for him. Our food. Anybody's food. These are seaweeds. And of course, you know, as long as when they did their little switcheroo downstairs in my 14-year-old food storage and my wall unit that they busted open the lock on, they took something out. Don't ask me what they took out, but they put that in the replacement, and I wouldn't have done that because I would never have locked this crap up. Oh, what memories we go down when it comes to memory lane, right? That would have been on the shelf that just got thrown out into the garage in the last month because they completely removed everything from there and then really mixed shit up. But besides that point, okay, from cherry to seaweed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With dirty hands. Yet to boot.
The fifth, sixth, and seventh trumpets are referred to as the three woes.
Alright.
Something truly terrifying is unleashed.
Tastes like seaweed to me.
A bottomless pit is open, releasing demonic.
Actually, it's a mild one. Mm-hmm. And you know what it would blend in really well with? As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do this today at some point once I get this corner somewhat a little more organized. I got broccoli in my fridge. It almost tastes a little bit like broccoli. Mm-hmm. I could mix it in with the broccoli with some salt and butter, cheese whiz or whatever, or shredded cheese. And do you know those kids wouldn't even know I was feeding them seaweed? Mm-hmm. That's actually a good tasting seaweed. So that's what I'm going to do today at some point. And then we've got some Pearl River Bridge rice vinegar for sushi making or whatever.
Still did not repent of the work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons, idols of gold.
And some other jar in here.
Bronze,
This is the last one that doesn't have a lid on it. If I had to say what it is, I'd say pea flour. Why would there be pea flour in there?
How heartless must you be? How cold
Because I remember.
must you be to refuse to repent even after a set of extraordinary judgments by God? This is
which
the unfortunate reality of the last days.
I don't see no bugs in it because they don't like it. And the lid itself isn't even very, you know, you can see what's going on here, right? And it smells fine. I don't know if it's pea flour, but it's some kind of flour. I'll put that in a little Mylar bag. Alright. Oh, so where did I put all the salt? Oh, I know where I moved it to. I moved it somewhere else, and I know where it is. Hold on. Ha ha ha. Oh, what would the social workers say to me now? Is this recording? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, look. I had to dig out all this crap in here just to cause that problem. That's what I mean. I don't have a proper porch. Some of this stuff belongs on the porch. Like, really, it does, but that's okay. You won't recognize this by tomorrow. Okay, so I'm afraid to stick my hand in there. It's full of cobwebs. I told you, they like last year and a half, 2 years, it's just, I don't know. The spider infestation. I kind of contributed to the porch rotting out. Yeah, I do. And as fast as I'm wiping, they're coming back. But I'm gonna try that tea tree oil with the peppermint. I just want to go in here. I only can open the door about this much, but I stuck my hand in there and it came into webs, right? And I don't like it. So I'm just gonna... And I got the flashlight here. I don't know where the big one is. I can't find it. I'm just looking for my meat grinder right now. I can get in here another day because I'm moving this thing out. I'll deal with these jars somewhere else. I'm moving buckets in here that I want to keep upstairs. And maybe a couple of those boxes that's got jars in them as well. And then maybe I'll just empty out some jars. I gotta turn on light in there. And I don't like spider webs. They're not harmful. They don't bite or nothing. It's just I don't like it. I put my food in the cupboards, like in the cupboards, canned goods, whatever things are in jars. I stick my hands in there. I come across them there. I get them a lot underneath the cupboards, obviously anywhere really. Yeah, they're in my room too. Everybody. There is light in here. There in the area. There we go. Now, if there's going to be mice, it's going to be in here. Nope. From what I can tell. Now, mind you, my eyes don't work very good. I knew I had cat food. This cat food needs to be eaten up in here. This is what happens when you don't have a functioning porch. And then when you do put things outside, they get ruined. So one day we'll get up in here. I got beautiful little cake pans Tisha would love to have. Make cheesecakes and all kinds of crazy crap, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, more spider webs. I've got, what is that called? Rotisserie thing in there. Where did I put that? Right. Anything that's food is in containers and it would be dry, like beans or something like that. I mean, clearly there's cans in here which should be checked because I didn't check it last year, so, you know, and I can see that looks like there's a fruit in there which could be problematic because of the acid within the fruit. This is just a, I don't know, some kind of broth thing. I know I have, there's all kinds of stuff. I need to get up in here anyway. But let's see if we can feel for mouse droppings. I feel dust, but I don't feel mouse droppings. I don't feel mouse urine. Nope. Because they apparently underneath here is where they put my food prep, where mice were. I'm sorry. I got some nice pans. Tisha wants to come over. She wants a pot, but I'm going to have her look at, well, a lot of my pots and pans. Obviously, we're not going to do this right now. I'm looking, oh, I got pizza pans back there. Really nice pizza pans. Oh, you really don't. Yeah, the one that Marcaine threw out, not realizing. Like, oh, these are, this right here. This. Big, beautiful bread bowl. There's 2 of them in there. This one's even bigger than what I've got out. Really nice. Extra bowls. What we got down here? I don't see my... and then of course we've got sugars back there. and stuff like that. I don't know what's in there, just containers. That would be dehydrated potatoes from back in the day, right? And there's another Tupperware container, right? And then my $400 food mill is right there. And I bought that specifically to grind up farm corn. After you cook it in a pickling brine. Ugh, yeah, spiders. Every now and then I get them on me crawling around. They're tiny. They're very tiny with their tiny little webs. Ugh. And what do you call it? Yeah, there's webs down here. You cook it up in a pickling brine for a little while to soften it up and change its molecules, right? And then after that, then you run it through the food mill to get rid of the husk and bring out all the nutrients within the farm corn. But it takes a certain kind of bit. You have to have a certain kind of bit. And then with that, you have that mush or mulch or whatever it is. That's where you make your tortillas, chips with, and that kind of stuff. And I do have farm corn in the house in buckets. I just haven't had time or the space. I don't see what I'm looking for. There's macaroni. There would be, when I come back, I've got macaroni in these buckets. I've got Tang prepackaged in these buckets and whatever else, right? Yeah, so I see there's cat food. There's sugar down there. So yeah, we're greasing in terms of, you know, it's not bad. But I don't see what I'm looking for. There's only one other place that I can look unless I missed it in the bathroom, and I don't think I'm actually supposed to be in the bathroom. Clearing that out a little bit just so that it doesn't look so unorganized, because Andre comes, pulls out to get a bag or get this, and then he just throws everything back in there, and it looks really in disarray when in fact it's not. Plus I want to get the one bag out. I want to get the one bucket out. Oh, that thing is not in here. I don't see it. Oh, this makes me mad. This makes me freaking mad. If she stole my thing, I'll be so freaking mad. I don't go to thrift stores anymore. I can't buy them, and that bitch, she was watching my videos. So she probably seen it, and when she came across it there in the bathroom, she scooped up on it like anything else that she freaking wanted. I can still look in the playroom. It still might be in there. And when I get to the bathroom, obviously, I'm pulling out that bucket with the jasmine rice in it, so I can go downstairs. And it gives me a little space. We'll deal with that in a couple of 2-3 weeks from now. And it gives me a little space so I can, you know, maybe put those Rubbermaid containers in there temporarily until I decide what I want to do with them. Yeah. Yeah, and that's when I'll look again. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think so. So the only other place I can look now that I can think of is in the playroom. I wouldn't put it in the bedroom. I'd put it in the playroom before I'd put it in the bedroom. And I'd put it in the bathroom before I would put it into the playroom. So, and that bitch was in the hall, poking her nose. And she did. She took something high up off a top shelf, because there was a big gaping hole. Yeah, Rhea's signature, big gaping holes after she smashes and grabs and steals your shit. Maria, aka Rhea. Remember that name. She likes Africans. I'm just saying. She thinks she can sew wedding outfits with the fabric that she stole from my house. Like I said, she's gonna make something one day. I don't care. And she's gonna sell it to one of those people or somebody, and they're gonna start itching. And they'll be like, what the hell is wrong? What did you do? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you see, when you do stuff like this, you kind of want to do it right the first time when you're in here. Because you never know when you're going to not get back here until the next time, which could be a very, 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 very long time. So, now that I'm in here, I'm going to put now buckets in here, right? That I want upstairs. Marcane made bean burgers the other day. He offered Andre some, me. I didn't want any. I wasn't in the mood to eat, right? Because of whatever, right? But, you know, I do plan on making bean burgers, so I'm in that bean bucket that clearly, again, I can't see. I don't know where that rag went to. Oh. And then you get the static, eh? You know, static coming in too, right? And spider webs. I'm feeling spider webs. Oh my god. So what I'm trying to, and this lid isn't even on correctly, so I don't know what's going on with this lid. So I try and put this lid on. You know, I'm wondering if they sold me 6-gallon buckets. I'm thinking those are 5 gallons. Yeah, I'm not happy. I have to find a 6-gallon bucket and compare it to the ones that I just bought recently. I think they shortchanged me. If they did, they're going to have to reimburse me. Yeah, and send me a free bucket. Yeah, with a gamma lid. Yeah, because I don't like 5-gallon buckets. I like 6-gallon because it just gives you that little extra space for what you need. And of course, I lost the rag, right? And you see, that's where I can't see. And then I forget where I put it, so hold on a minute. Okay, so I just got a clean one. I have a pot in the sink with warm soapy water with some vinegar. So anyway, I opened up this bucket that's been sitting there for a while. To me, it looks like a 5-gallon bucket. It really does. And I think that's, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, when I opened it up, now mind you, if you see what's going on here, look. Easy for moss to get in. So how that happened, I don't know. Maybe I didn't put it on right because I'm not always strong. What I'm trying to say is a moth got in there, or maybe 2, and I have a plastic bag here. This camera's going to kick out, so if it kicks out I have to go plug it in. Anyway, I'm wiping out the bucket before I refill it with Mylar bags that have just basically beans in them. So that video that I did yesterday, I'm going to take those and I'm going to fit into this bucket as many as I can, or I don't know. Work with the one that you got right now. Okay. I'll get a paper towel and I'll dry that. So I have a plastic bag here, and because it's translucent I can't really see it, but now I can see it because there's something in it. Kind of. I'm like, beans. My son's now getting back into making bean burgers. And I just, you know, I got beans. I'm like, what kind of bean burger can I make that would be like awesome? Awesome. I want the recipe. That is so, so, so good. To get motivated for that process, right? To make bean burgers. So anyway, just because you're rushing around doing, I took this bag and I just threw it in there into that bucket with the beans and just a few miscellaneous stuff which I'm taking out because I'm going to put nothing but beans in there. I don't care what kind of bean. I can't see, but I can feel there is a hole right there, which tells me a moth got in there, because there's remnants of moths. I just don't see them. So how bad it is, I don't know. From what I can tell in the bag, it doesn't look that bad. And it looks like it's double bagged. Now, it could have been just poked, and I didn't see it when I put it in there. Anyway, we'll have Mr. Eagle Eye Andre look at that. And that honestly looks like some kind of rice. Probably from TNT, which would still be good, providing it's not infested with a whole bunch of moths, right? And then what do we got for beans in here? Did I write it down? Whole green peas. I'm sure they're sproutable because they'd be organic, more than likely. There's this one, vacuum sealed navy beans, May of 2023. And I got these really beautiful bean pots, like the traditional bean pots. Again, no functioning kitchen, never had time to use them yet, but we know where there's navy beans now. And then we got a little leftover of something in this bag, with cats running around. Okay, well, I could open it up, figure out what it is, maybe. Let's see. But before you open up things, right, run your fingers through to make sure there's no moths that decided to make themselves a nest just in case, right? Being that a moth got into that bucket. But do you see the difference between plastic and mylar? The moths didn't interfere with this food because they couldn't get to it. So I highly recommend mylar bags. Even if you're not even going to go into long-term food storage, get them anyway. Just use them for this kind of miscellaneous stuff. Well, to me, maybe it's a soybean. It kind of looks like a soybean. Again, I don't see very well, but for me, it looks, just by the shape of the bean itself and the size, it looks like a soybean, which would have came in with 25-pound bags or 44-pound bags, whatever. And then I would have jarred up a whole bunch of them and probably put some mylar bags and have them kicking around somewhere. I bought two separate times, two separate years. And I have a tofu maker. I have the solution to do whatever it does. I have, a little book to give you some ideas how to make it, and I got a couple of those little presses, and so that will be another day when we attempt to do that after I get my kitchen back. Huh? What do you think? I think so. And this is where you say, stop fooling yourself. You're always going around in circles. What part of that haven't you figured out after all these years? But I'm not doing a lot of things that I used to do. In terms of, I'm not bringing in those 88 pounds of this and 88 pounds of that and 100 pounds of this and 100 pounds of that. Never mind all that canning. I don't even do that much anymore. So now I need a paper towel so I can wipe out this bucket, try and get this lid back on it properly, and put those beans back in there and get into these buckets that I was dealing with yesterday that has those beans and the peas, and put them in there, put it there. Then I got a free bucket, and I'm just going to take the buckets that I want to keep upstairs and stack them here. That's what I'm gonna do. Now, I was just thinking, in regards to those cherries from, I guess, 2011, I'm pretty sure that's what I read. You know, I did bring up the subject of botulism as what kind of bacteria could possibly, you know, be toxic for something that's been sitting around for that long, and where would it come from? Well, botulism stands out in my mind, right? Because if it was listeria or something like that, you know, it would have went into the jar at the time of the dehydrating or whatever, okay? So, you know, botulism needs a certain kind of environment, and that would be like in a home canned good with a sealed lid, because there's no oxygen. You basically take out the oxygen when you're water bathing and you know, pressure canning, right? It's dormant, and botulism that lives in food likes that type of environment. So if I would have taken an oxygen absorber and put it in with those cherries, with them not, you know, with them being a little gummy, right? Because they're not fully 100, like they're, you have to have 10%, you can't go any lower than 10% with the moisture in the food in order to use the oxygen absorber. And I would say that's 10% or more moisture. So you wouldn't use an oxygen absorber in the jar. And if I would have done that with that product, there could have been a potential to breed botulism. So I ate the cherry, and really it kind of tasted like those red cherries, right? But just not as fresh as if it came off the tree or you just bought it from the grocery store. And you don't know how it's going to cook up either, right? And you know, the texture was fine, the flavor wasn't that bad, and yeah. So I just wanted to say that you know, for those that, I don't know, again, you know, I go out of my way, honestly, sometimes to show people what you can do with food versus following the science that's, you know, kind of leans towards to keep you buying, right? In terms of, oh no, it's a big X, oh no, not necessarily. So use your common sense, okay? Okay, so do you think I'm making progress? I don't know. Oh my god, that's gonna be too low. Oh, this camera will probably kick out. I forgot to recharge it. So, what I've got here is a sliding bucket. That one I think I'm going to take downstairs. Oh boy. After I'm done doing a little bit of down there, but I won't be able to take it down for a while. And I got to do porch repairs, people. I have to. And I got to put that stuff away from what they pulled out from the house. And I got to pull Morning Glory. And I got to clean the hen house area. And I got to fix the greenhouse before winter really sets in. And I got to work in the yard. So I don't know how much I'm going to get downstairs. Honest to God, I don't know. I was going to do that before the social workers showed up, right? I was just going to suck it up and do as much as I could outside for at least a month. Right, try and get good 4 days, once a week, at least 4 days. But then what happens is you start doing that, the inside falls apart. In other words, I wouldn't be doing any of this. I'd still have to do laundry and cook and, you know, the general rigmarole, but I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, which is, I'm telling myself, it's okay. You're just making it nicer for yourself. That's what I tell Andre. Sometimes you can't change your environment in terms of just pack up and move, right? You can't run away from your problems, that kind of thing. But you can work on changing your environment, right, to make it better, right? Personally, because my mother did used to do interior decorating, and she was really good at it. She used to hang up a lot of wallpaper. She'd paint walls. She'd do trims, you know. And when my grandmother, with her adult children, wanted to move into the basement, it was my mom who came in with her crew and built the basement up, because my mom had done that before in other places where you have a cement floor, just an open basement, and then you build in a suite with the subfloors and, the little kitchen and the bathroom and the bedroom and the little living room. My mom did that for my grandma, right? She was very good for that. If my grandmother ever needed anything, my mom always did it. So anyway, these are grape seeds. Do you know grape seeds are actually good for you? This is back in the day, probably in 2020, 21, in around that time. I'd have to go into my videos. I could see in those days, but I was also starting to go blind. So, I didn't realize it though, So anyway, I'm putting these into a Mylar bag to get them out of the plastic bag. And I'm going to try and cook with them. Or Andre can grind them up if and when we get it back into smoothies, which I'd like to think we will. And I'll do a mock cook for Amari to see if I can soften them up really well, so that they grind up. And he wouldn't even know about it because, they softened up really nice. These would grow even after all this time, believe it or not. Grape seeds from the front yard. Go on Amazon, and people pay good money for this. Yeah, to eat it. They're just crunchy. And because it's a seed, a hard one at that. It retains its germ inside of it. Well, alright, and here's some more. So, I don't know if I'll have time to do grapes, and that's assuming that nobody steals what's growing out there when the time comes, because the last batch, the little seedless ones, they all disappeared. Andre wanted to pick them. He brought me some in, and he said, "There's more out there. Let me go get them." And I said, "Well, I don't know about that, Andre." What is this? I said, "I don't know about that." Oh, those are nuts. Almonds. I said, "I don't know about that." They're not ripe yet. They're a little sour. I ended up dehydrating them. Went back a week later and they were gone. All of them. All of them. And there wasn't that many to begin with, but they all got wiped out. There wasn't no stems. It's not like they fell off, right? Because if they fell off, the stems would have been hanging. There was no stems. Somebody came in and took them. And I bet you it was the Syrians next door. Because they like to come into my yard without asking. They assume that I'm sleeping because my curtain is closed. Because one time I opened up my door and they were out in my yard, 2 women, the Syrians, right? And I said, I mean, like, I didn't know they were women. I just knew that they were highly clothed, and big and bulky kind of thing, right? I wasn't sure if they were men. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Who are you? Like, why are you in my yard?" And then they turned and I'm like, "Oh, we came to pick the grape leaves from our grapevine." I said, "Your grapevine?" I said, this is my side of the fence. I said, "That's not, that whatever is on my side of the fence belongs to me." Because what it is you know, when a mature grape. Oh, I so want to spray some Raid right now, but I don't want to. I'm gonna do it after. When you have a mature grapevine, the one main stalk will be thick like that, right? And then it just branches out and kind of goes where it wants to go, right? Before they moved in, those little seedless grapes that were so sweet, oh man, they love growing on that side of the fence, on their side. They love it. They just go like mad crazy. But they moved in, they didn't like whatever, and they cut everything away. They cut it all away. And they dug up this, dug up that. I don't know what they do now, because I don't know. And they cut down the other grapevine that was on their side of the property. I don't know what kind of grapes they were growing. Maybe, you know, it was still an immature plant. Either or, you know, I don't think they just cut everything. And now they think they can come into my yard and start picking the leaves because they want grape leaves without asking, because they think it's their grape plant, which is bullcrap. I told them, no, what's on your side of the fence is your side of the fence, because they cut it back. Get out of here, stupid cat. They cut it all back for whatever reason. That's not my fault. If you let that shit just grow the way it wants to grow, you'd have more than enough grapes than you could count. Because I know, I've been here 14 years. You want to cut everything back and have no grapes on that side, or no grape leaves on that side of the fence? That's not my fault. Don't think you can just wander into my yard. Assume assume that I'm sleeping because my curtains are closed, and just start helping yourself. So yeah, I think they came in and they snip, 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 snip as they were picking their little fucking grape leaves. Yeah. Like, people are ignorant, man. Like, so freaking ignorant. Yeah. That's like 3 years in a row. Even though they're growing, by the time I get out there thinking maybe they're, you know, nice, right time to pick, they're gone. Stems and all. So that tells you somebody came with scissors and cut and took them and ran off with them. And being that they like to just walk into my yard and do what they want because they think they own that grapevine, because the stem is like on the fence line on their side, even though they cut everything back where nothing can grow. So what little left can grow is growing on my side. But the bounty is on their side because the grapes prefer to grow on that side. That's not my problem if you cut the freaking all away and nothing grows on that side. Why do you think you can come into my yard, but you can't talk to them? I said don't do that no more. Don't come. If you want, knock on my door and ask. Just don't assume, right? Because this is my yard, right? I don't go into your yard. In one ear, out the other, I'm sure. Yeah. Because, they're Muslim. Okay, so look. Now it's $6.77. It was $6.66 from $7.27 or something like that. And then it went all the way down to $6.66. And then it went back up to $7.20. And now it went back down to $6.17. Does that even sound right? And it's like, today's what? Is new day, right? September 15th of 2025. And it's stupid. I almost want to record this for a week just to show you how stupid this is. Okay, same day. What time is it now? It's 4:20 p.m. Now it's $7.57. Okay? Okay, so September 15th, right? Going on 7 p.m. So September 15th, 7 p.m. $7.69. Let's see what happens. Okay. So you can see what time it is. September 16th, right? 3:25 in the morning. Now it is $7.32. Okay? So I'm just going to put in this video to document it, people. I'm starting to get sick with this shit. I'm working too hard. That's what's happening here. What is the date today? September 16th of 2025. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I've already been up twice. I woke up at around 3. I know it was 2:30 or something like that. I went back to sleep around 3:34. Now it's 7:30. I feel like crap. Yeah, because I've been pushing myself hard. It's not easy. Trying to organize stuff when you don't have enough space. And of course, if I'm going to organize it, I'm going to do a good job. In other words, I'm washing the floor, wiping things down, going through the buckets, double checking, trying to put labels where, okay, going through stuff, right? Okay, I'm washing as I'm going, right? Sorting stuff out. Even making those circles with the paper bags for lining for cheesecloth, for cheese dough, for sourdough. Even that takes energy. And I found another bag full. Oh, joy. And, I'm putting stuff outside that doesn't belong outside. I need to bring stuff in from outside that's outside, that's expensive, that doesn't belong outside because the weather's changing and it's going to spoil. I'm giving my stuff away, right, because of what they've done downstairs. Like my canopies, right? I'm going to give them to Riley. I said, Riley, will you look after them for me? I'll never get them back, people. I'll never get them back. I did that before in the past. Gave them stuff of mine for park events and stuff. I'll never get it back. I wanted to keep those canopies. What if I wanted to do a little event around here? One day with James. Right now they're just sitting up in the shed getting ready to mold because of the weather. It's going to change, and because it's fabric, it's not going to hold up. So what? There's $300 down the toilet there. I can't work downstairs right now. I have to work upstairs. And before, honestly, I go downstairs, I have to work outside. I'm already not starting to feel well, and the weather's changing. It's getting cold now. Yeah. With 2 women that could be my daughters in terms of age, bossing me around. Yeah. Not helping. They're acting like Marina and Marcaine. Only in a different kind of way. They're not offering any solution in terms of alternative housing, because that's what I need, people. I tell Andre, we just gotta hang in there. Steady as you go. Work towards starting fresh. So when we move, we basically have, what we want, right? We're in that transitional stage. How long it's going to take me to move, assuming that I even survive this crap, people, seriously, assuming that I even survive this crap. Okay, like, wait till I have to start working outside and then come in and do the laundry and everything with these women coming in and saying, well, what the hell did you do? I'll say, well, come outside and see what I did. And now I'm doing laundry. And tomorrow I'm going to do dishes, right? And then I'm going to get up and cook something, and I'm going to be back outside. Well, that's not what we want you to do. Yeah, well, whatever it is that you want me to do, first of all, you don't even have a right to tell me to do that. Because if you think this place is going to be bad, what's going to happen when I move into a rundown, more than likely, maybe 2-bedroom basement suite that will be overinflated in rent, where I'm broke, and I'll be calling you for that food voucher? Because the last time I was around those people, they made it where maybe I have to start giving away my food too. Do I get to keep my food or just get rid of my clothes? Oh, they're vintage clothing. Who cares? Just get rid of them. I'm just using that as an example. In terms of the layout and the setup, that's been like this ever since I moved in. And yeah, the floor clutters up. You bring in groceries, the floor clutters up. You start canning, the floor clutters up. You do laundry, the floor clutters up. The kids come by, the floor clutters up. You know, it could be anything, right? I'm sorting out crap, the floor clutters up. Yeah, and then throw out all my stuff out from the basement, time after time after time. Then yeah, the floor is going to clutter up. So that's nothing new, okay? What's new is they're trying to use a gurney with the assumption that somebody needs to be taken out of here as an excuse to control you, control me. Psychological warfare. I told Tisha, if shit hits the fan, I want her to help me set up freaking OnlyFans. Oh, no, you can't do that. I said, I'm going to. Yeah. It's not going to be a repeat like with Andre. 22, go to court 22 times later. Yeah, right. I can't even drive anymore. I couldn't drive to the court, nothing. And legal aid lawyers, they play games. And even if your legal aid lawyer doesn't play games, the other lawyers play games. And the legal aid or lawyer can't do anything about it. The judge plays games. They all play games. I remember I went to court 22 times fighting for Andre. And for what? To have my family fall apart because of these people. And boy, did they ever fall apart. Oh, yeah. Tisha, oh, you just want another fight. Marcane, oh, you just want another fight. Yeah, okay, I just want another fight. At least I have the courage to even think about it, people. Okay? You gonna take me out? Because that's basically what's been happening. Yeah. For a long time. I told you they do it in increments. Right? This is just another increment. These social workers don't care what Marcane and Marina have been doing to me for the last 3.5 years or whatever it's been. They think that they can do it too. But only in a somewhat different kind of way. So anyway, I gotta shake it off for now. And start moving around. I have laundry to do. Not so much laundry because I did laundry yet. Yeah, no, actually I still got more laundry to do. I did laundry yesterday. I made Andre and the kids a nice dinner. I bought groceries. I made sure I didn't buy them so that when they came by on whenever, they didn't have to step over the bags. Yeah. So, yeah, go from baking hot, sweating, and sometimes, depending, the house still heats up really bad, right? But right now the weather is breaking, it's getting cooler, and now it's kind of cold, right? But then, because I'm not feeling well, I'm heating up. I've been asking Andre, like, do I have a fever? Do I have a fever? He goes, no, Nana, you don't have a fever. I feel like I have a fever for the last couple of days. Yesterday was quite bad. And I had this off. After I did that little whatever on the video, I took this off. Because I'm hot, right? Because, I'm putting in long hours and working harder. And I wouldn't necessarily say faster because, when you're wiping things down and you're getting into, and I had a little spray bottle with water and tea tree oil in it. I have one with peppermint oil too, but I have to dig around for that one. So right now I'm just using that bottle with the tea tree oil in it. And as I'm wiping, I'm spider webs, right? They're very fine. They're very small. They're small little spiders. Anyway, they're not the big spiders. They're small ones. And just, I'm wiping and I'm coming across them, right? Wherever, it doesn't matter. Inside cupboards, under cupboards, just, wood. They like wood. That's what they do. And this house is a wood house. It's old. So, as I'm wiping, I'm pulling things out, wiping, whatever, I'm wiping, and then I'm spraying this stuff. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference, but I'm trying anyway. And I'm pretty much work, eat, fall asleep, get up, get ready to work. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and start with, well, I know one half of the sink is full of dishes, and they're starting to pile up into the second half. But I might just start with laundry, because honestly, see, just that little bit with my arms, they're sore. Now my arms are sore because I'm overworking. That's what's happening here, people. What did I make for dinner last night? Because I went 2 days without eating. I went 2 days without eating. What did I... Well, that's not true. What did I eat for 2 days? The first day, I had 2 eggs. That was it. And I didn't have that until the end of the day. And then the next day, I had vegetable soup in the evening. And I've been finding, and this has been kind of going on for the last month, because I've been working. You see, that's the thing. Because I've been playing catch up with my stuff being pillaged and displaced and scattered around and ruined. That's all I've been doing. So when the food comes, I don't know, I can't finish it. I think my stomach is shrinking. Yeah, but then when they took Andre, I was 105 pounds. And within 6 months, I went down to 92 pounds. So I suppose that wouldn't be unusual, right? I'm not saying they're going to take Amari, because I don't think they're going to find anybody better to look after him than we are. They're not going to love him, that's for sure. At least Andre and I, we really love him. Yeah. You know, we have a system that works for him. Maybe not so much for us right now. And I tell Andre, that's okay, you know, because we're making plans to move, and when we move, we can start fresh. And at least we kind of know what we're looking at in terms of how to build around Amari's needs with that big mattress on the floor, yada yada yada, and then how we can build around Andre's needs. And you know, Andre can go downstairs anytime if he wants time for himself. I'm just saying, you know, he can. There's nothing stopping him. Marcane tells him, you can come downstairs anytime you want. You're right, you know, chill, do whatever. If you're too hot, come downstairs. Andre doesn't even go downstairs when he's really, 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 really hot. No. I suppose that maybe if the computer was down there, maybe he would, but I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Only for a little while, and even then, he'd end up stopping it, because that's not... He loves Amari, right? He doesn't want to abandon Amari, no. So yesterday not yesterday, the day before, I had 2 eggs in the evening. Andre cooked me up. When the kids came, Andre was cooking up the eggs for the kids and whatever else he was doing there. I said, well, Andre, I haven't eaten all day. At least give me 2 eggs. And that's all I ate for the day, was 2 eggs, and that was in the evening. And then I lay down and I fell asleep. And then the next day, I had some soup, like vegetable soup. Or was it, no, maybe it was chicken noodle soup. I don't know. All I know is I couldn't finish it. I just couldn't finish it. No. Yeah. And then at some point, I ate some noodles, Mr. Noodles. I don't know if it was the next day after that or what. But that was it. So I said to heck with it yesterday. I put an order online. It was $122. You know, I bought the spinach, which I have to kind of cook up. I'm going to do that today, because I find if I do that, and so I'm going to cook up the spinach for sure. I bought 2 packs of pork chops. I breaded them and egged them and breaded them and baked them, right? I did some baked potatoes. I said, Andre, I'm keeping it simple, just to get the potatoes out of the hull, so that, you know, that's one less thing in the hull. What else? Cut up vegetables from the fridge that were, needing to be used up ASAP. So that was corn, broccoli, and peppers with garlic. Pan-fried it. I pan-fried it. Had it in the oven and other stuff. I told Andre, as soon as I'm done pan-frying, getting it ready, that's it. It's your shift. You make me a plate. You bring it to me. Because I'm exhausted now by this point, right? And this is like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Okay? So I went all day without eating again. And so he brings me a plate. Oh man, it was so good. But I couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat it all. He thanked me. He said, "Oh, Nana, this is so good." Yeah. So he took my plate and whatever was left over. And by this time, I'm sleeping now, right? And put it in the fridge and put everything else that was in the, pan into the fridge. So I don't have to cook today. So Murray's going to have pork chops and potatoes and peppers with corn and yada today. The only problem with the Murray, though, is these drinks have blocked him. It was too good to be true. He's been drinking them regularly. 4 a day or so. Pretty much 4 a day. I don't think it's 5 a day. Maybe 1 or 2 days there's been 5. Maybe 1 or 2 days it's been 3. But it's been a steady pace of 4 a day. In between food. Right? And yeah, he's not pooing. And he's getting uncomfortable. And we're giving him that laxative, but... So we're back on that bandwagon. Back on that bandwagon. So I'm trying not to get worried on that one, right? Because it becomes a problem with those drinks. I'm trying to tell myself, yeah, but he's getting those extra calories, Judy. Just keep giving him those drinks. He's getting those extra calories. But it doesn't seem to be making a difference outside of he's getting longer. Right? He's getting longer, but he's not, he's got no muscles and just skin and bones. Is just stupid. So I'm just whatever. So anyway, he just finished his turkey. I did a turkey leg. He didn't have turkey leg yesterday. He had turkey leg the day before for 2 days. And then before that, he had turkey from the jar with his, stuff that I make, right? So yeah, I bought a few groceries, sweet potatoes, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to cook up something like, well, actually, I don't have to cook anything today, really. What I need to do is the dishes, finish up with a little bit more laundry. And of course, got shit piled up in here, pillows, blankets, clothes, drying. Still cleaning up after the kids. I'm going to get into the small bathroom today. Just the front part of it is messy. Because Andre goes looking for bags and he'll pull things out and then stuff things in there. Or I want to keep a box because I'm not too sure if I'm going to need it or not, or whatever. So I just put it in there just as I go along, right? Because I don't, I have a lot of paperwork, right? So I have to go through my paperwork, whether it's nonprofit paperwork or my paperwork. Because I have statements and bank statements and those kind of things. These boxes are perfect for statements. So I have extra boxes kicking around. And then, because I was, doing the room with the food prep, if I buy 60 cans of sardines 2 times, I need a box to put them in. So that's why I like to keep a few extra boxes like that kind of kicking around. But I'm not doing the food prep no more. I don't need to. And now that I'm at that point, people don't want me to be happy with my life, and now they want me to just throw away, destroy, so they can pillage it. It's just a different kind of pillaging. So they can push me out into a worse situation than I'm in. Because that's what's happening. They're pushing me slowly but surely in that direction. Yeah. It's like they get off on it. They don't care that I've been robbed over and over and over again. They don't care. They don't care about that. They don't care about my stuff being scattered around all over the place, thrown out in the garage or wherever or whatever, mixed up. Yeah, they don't care what happened with the yard. They don't care that I have to work in the yard. They don't care. It's not what they care about. They care about just taking away more things from me, it seems. Yeah. And then when I get to the next location with less than what I already have, it will be something else. Yeah. It will be something else. And that's assuming that I even get there. Yeah. Because some of this stuff, I could probably make some decent money on it in terms of selling it, right? Because they're my personal belongings. And they wanting me to get rid of, my personal belongings. Well, my personal belongings were outside too. My personal belongings were downstairs too. My personal belongings were in the shed too. But this is a different kind of personal belongings. This is like, let me come into your house and go into your bedroom and go through your panty drawer and start taking what I want, or at least pointing at them and saying, you see those? Get rid of them. Yeah, get rid of those things that are in that drawer. You can keep what's in this drawer, but this drawer over here, get rid of that stuff. And while you're at it, if you see that up over there, I don't care how you feel about it, just get rid of it because you need more space. Yeah, okay. I need more space as they're forcing you into no space housing. As they're forcing you into no space housing because they're not even trying to help me to figure out how to get to a different kind of house. No, they don't care if I have money for it in terms of, paying down my bills while I live here to move into it, or whether it's affordable, right? They just don't care. They don't fucking care. Just like I said, I'm leaving on this one. When they were dealing with Rhea in the shelter, following her from shelter to shelter, as they were checking up on her to make sure she was okay with the kids at the shelter, they closed the file and left her sitting in the shelter. And she had to find her own place without their help. And all she got was a 2-bedroom basement suite in a rickety down broken house full of mice and other issues for $1,700 a month. And that house is going to be tore down soon. I could do 1,700 for a broken down rickety house in a basement, mouse infested. At this point, and then they would show up and say, it's not big enough because of Amari's special needs. Or maybe it's too cluttered because Andre and I brought too much stuff with us from this house. It's like they want you to live in empty houses or empty suites or empty something, and then, you know, because some people like it like that. I asked Andre, I said, do you think Tisha could do what we do, Andre, for Amari in terms of laundry? He said no. I said, I know she'd be living at the laundromat going crazy. Because she likes everything smelling like perfume. She couldn't cope with Amari. I mean, maybe she could, I suppose, if she had no choice. But you gotta be pretty dedicated to do the amount of laundry that I do just to keep up with it. And even then, it's not enough because I don't use a lot of perfumes. I don't use soap that has perfumes, strong perfumes. I prefer not to use too much fabric softener because I find they don't really work that great in terms of, I prefer just a neutral, non-smell in terms of hanging up, right? Maybe if I was drying, but even then, if I come into contact with perfumes and shit, I start hacking and stuff. Tisha comes into the house and I start hacking because all of the perfumes that she wears, because I'm sensitive with it now over these years of doing all the cleaning and stuff that I've done. But I prefer I will use the fabric softener sometimes just to take away static. If I find that things are starting to get staticky, right? I don't use it for it to be, to make things soft, because after things hang dry and you fold them up and everything, they're usually, I don't have that problem. I find if I use the fabric softener and I hang dry it, no, sometimes I have to wash them again. The fabric softener, the chemicals within the fabric softener, I don't know, they interact with the smells that are maybe right in the blanket as it is because of Amari urinating on them. And if I wash them, I rinse them, wash them, rinse them with fabric softener, and then hang dry. Oh no, I don't like the smells that produce from that sometimes. So I prefer just a non-neutral smell that you smell it, you can't smell anything, because it's just a matter of time before you're washing it again within the next time Amari lays on it for a day or two. So if that makes sense, right? Tisha couldn't cope with that. She couldn't handle that battle. No way. Never mind being in the laundromat, because she would never have a washing machine in her kitchen doing what I'm doing. Not that I like it, but I have to. I don't have a choice, really. But yeah, no, and she just wouldn't. She just wouldn't. If her kids were older and were capable of helping her to do those types of things, then yeah, it would be different. But if she was by herself, having to cope with the laundry that I cope with. Whether she was in a laundromat doing it, whether she had her own personal laundry room doing it, or whether she was doing it at the sink, she still wouldn't be able to cope with it. And because of that, she thinks she has a right to criticize me. With it piling up in here, or whatever, as it's drying and I'm folding it up, and then having to wash it again. Not even that within a week. And there was oh, I'll be so mad. I'll be so mad. Andre took blankets downstairs. I'm going to leave it here. And this is the shit I have to deal with. Andre took blankets downstairs, washed them. He told me he went downstairs to go get them because, quote unquote, he forgot about them. And now he can't find them because Marquain did something with them. And if they're the kind of blanket that I'm thinking of that I can't find because it has the batting in them, the baby blankets with the batting, which is perfect for Amari if he leaks because it absorbs. And if that's gone, or whatever else, towels, if they're gone, fuck, man. No, I'll be mad because I need them. This is what I mean. So I can't live with him, really. I can't. Can't depend on him to care about stuff like that, or anything that relates to us. Okay, so I don't even know what time it is, but I gotta make myself a coffee just to get motivated. And just keep that steady pace. I've been keeping a real steady pace. Yeah, I just keep a real steady pace. So I'm going to keep that steady pace today. I don't feel that well, but I'm going to do it. Alright, 8:30, so end of this video. Well, maybe not, because I want you to see something here, and then I'm going to convert this over and I guess start fresh on the next video. With me working in the bathroom, the little bathroom that I use as a storage room. Okay, so it's 7:32. I guess that's the same amount, right, that I looked at earlier this morning, which is now 8:40 a.m. on the 16th of September, right? 2025. Where am I? My arms are weak. I'm weak, people. I'm weak. I can feel it. I can barely hold up this camera. Go figure. That's how weak I am. Okay, so now we're going to listen to this. You ready? Where am I? What's going on? What is it? My eyes or what the hell? Maybe the camera's not working right. Millions of Americans won't be ready for what's coming next. And I'm on this bandwagon because they're working towards making me homeless, or at least putting me into a mouse-infested, rickety-down, broken house worse than what I got, into a two-bedroom basement suite with no housing security and very few belongings. Yeah, that's exactly what my thoughts are on that. Okay, I'm sorry, you just don't go into people's yards and take $10,000 worth of stuff. I don't care what it is, and leave you with nothing. Practically nothing. Okay? Practically nothing. Like I said, I'm looking at buying freaking 2x4s, for crying out loud. Anyway, and maybe some plywood yet. And I had those things before it was robbed from me. Okay? That was the first stage of the eviction. The social workers are the second stage. Okay, so here we go. Living in a car, van, or even in an RV has. Right? Okay, we're going to listen to this for a minute.
An RV has sadly become the only option for so many people across America. The housing crisis has pushed families, students, even full-time workers into their vehicles. And now, with new laws being proposed to criminalize homelessness, people are more worried than ever about where they'll end up.
So y'all, I just woke up, right? And this is what I woke up to.
Bunch of cops. Yeah. Same kind of vehicles they drive out here, too.
Now, excuse my car, because you know I live in it. It's getting clean today, but evidently, it's allowed to be homeless. It's illegal to be homeless in Texas. But damn, y'all got all these cops for little old me. What the fuck am I doing wrong? I'm just trying to make a living, not this hoe. But to say that it's illegal to be homeless is crazy. So am I about to go to jail for sleeping in my car? I'm kind of scared. Now I'm blocked in and I can't move. Well, that's the tea for the day. I guess I'm about to get up and start my day. That's some crazy shit. I'm kind of scared now. I don't know where I need to sleep at, because usually I be in Walmart parking lots. Since that shit's illegal, I need to move around.
We just stopped at Shrewsbury Services. It's
not illegal to do OnlyFans. Hell no. You pay taxes on that.
And it's not very good, because there's nowhere to actually park properly. The garden centre next door, it doesn't seem like we can park this. We managed to ditch it behind the petrol station in a little bay.
See that little baby? Mm-hmm.
And we managed to sneak ourselves some Greg's goodies. We're enjoying them nice Greggy pizza, aren't we? Yeah? They're good? Yeah. So we managed to squeeze in this little bay here. There's the Greggies. Getting the baby in. Becky's made the bed, which she's done it really crap. Doesn't come at all. Ready to go. Baby's in. Yeah, through that. It's killing me bad.
Hi, my name is Tammy. I'm 60 years old, and I live in this van. Do I want to rent an apartment or a house? No. Even if I owned a house, if I paid for it, it's paid for in full. I paid for it. It's never my house. If I don't pay the government once a year, that property tax, the government comes and takes it from me. I own this van. Paid for. It's 33 years old. It's paid for. But if I don't pay every year the registration, the government, the police, will take my vehicle. Oh, another thing. I also have to pay insurance every month.
I own my belongings too. And what happened to me? The government and their employees wiped me out in my yard. Basically. And now we've got the government on the inside trying to get me to get rid of my shit. On assumptions. Yeah, on assumptions. As they ignore everything that Andre and I tell them about our special circumstances, right? The plans that we have, and also what we've been up against in terms of other people pillaging our belongings and disrupting our lives. Rhea disrupted my life from April even till now. I'm still looking for things that are missing. right? My son and his wife, still disrupting my life because they just, in the last month, moved out of that other bit of area that was organized, didn't move for none until that girl moved in, and now it's all scattered around. And now we've got these people. And then the city. That's four. Four different groups of people disrupting our lives and scattering things around and making us nervous baskets where we have to try and rescue a few things before they completely disappear or get destroyed or sold off by other people as they come back for more. Yeah. And the majority of them are government workers. Well, it's a 50-50, right? Inside the house, upstairs, is the government workers. Outside in the yard is the government workers. Downstairs in the basement was my quote-unquote loving son and his wife. And then a person that I knew for 9 years that was, supposed to, said she was going to help me, and we were going to consider sharing a house so that all our kids could have a better quality of living and maybe some peace and happiness. And she shot everybody in the foot because of greed. And she thought I was that vulnerable that she could get away with it in terms of stealing from me.
To drive. Yeah. How about this? What if I don't get in an accident? Do I get my money back for that year? Do I get a refund? I didn't get in an accident. Once a year, if I don't get in an accident for a whole year, do I get a refund?
No. What happens is the money that you pay, I'm going to end it here and I'll just add the link. The money that you pay for car insurance goes into a slush fund, right? Where the criminals in the community can target people like you who live in your van so that you disappear. And then, well, that's possible. You could just up and disappear. I'm thinking more like you get murdered in your van, kind of like what happened to Shimei in the house, or Sierra being lured to her death. And then through that process, obviously other people were involved in your demise, and they're going to want their share of the pie as your organs are being sold off in the black market. And one way to funnel money legitimately in a large sum is through car insurance fraud. Kind of like what happened with Shimei. Julian was sent in to murder Shimei, and then a year later, the family itself was paid out through a fake car accident. And they got paid through ICBC insurance. Yeah. That's how they legitimized the payment. That's why Tamika Johnson gets up on the internet and brags about how she's going to inherit that house that her mother lives in. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we should end it on this one. Seniors dying out on the streets. United States homeless crises. We have that out here in British Columbia, Canada, up by the Strip. Okay? I'm just saying, we've got that going on out here too, people. Hell, and of course these people here that we're going to be looking at here in a second, and I'm not going to run it too long, they don't have pension plans and superannuation life insurance policies and inheritances that nobody tells them about, 14 months later, you get medically kidnapped and ripped away from your family and stuffed into a hospital and illegally detained and illegally drugged and then illegally transported and then illegally detained and illegally drugged and probably got a whole whack of shock therapy in there to muck up your brain so that you would forget your family that you had nurtured and helped to raise and loved, and then you get illegally locked up into an old folks home to suspiciously die one day before you went into the hospital 3 years prior, as if it was some sort of voodoo going on in there. Because you know there was a whole bunch of voodoo going on in there. And all to steal the inheritance. And all to steal the inheritance as you milked that pension plan for 3 years straight. And then you went looking for the superannuation life insurance policy on that person that you kidnapped and basically murdered. Yeah, we're talking about Uncle John here, okay? And being that you're so crooked, Eleanor Gilding, for all we know, she took some of that inheritance money, paid off a few people in the Ministry of Finance for the province of British Columbia, Canada, being that's the department that Joan Duncan worked in when she was a government worker, and that's why she had a life insurance policy, superannuation life insurance policy, that she left John some of it anyway, not all of it, I'm sure. She probably left some to Debbie, but she definitely left some to John because John didn't receive it while he was free. Yeah. All they wanted from him was his John Henry so they could steal it. That Eleanor Gilding probably went to the finance department, somebody in there from long lost friend from Joan Duncan, and they tweaked the files and they probably made it where John suddenly magically had a superannuation life insurance policy on the books and it got paid out on that too. That's how crooked these people are. Well, the people with lack of funds, lack of pension plans, lack of government support of any kind are dying out on the streets. Yeah. Oh my God, is that going to get me a copyright? Anything to shut you down, right?
I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's still 29 degrees Celsius. The zone is the homeless area of the city.
How old are you, babe?
69. Okay, so I found one little spot where there's no music. Well, I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I think this gets my point across here in terms of, like, you know, just, if, you know, I was just sat here and I thought, if you had one wish, Judy, what would you wish for? And I've said it before in terms of what I would want, right? In terms of if I could have it. And I think my wish would be, and I'm pretty sure it would be this, and when I get to the pearly gates, I'm going to ask for this before I even step through as a guarantee that I don't have to come back to this prison planet, slave planet, that's being run by aliens that cloak themselves as humans as they play scientist to merge man with machine, as they use altered humans in the form of the devil's keepers, the satanic cult of devil keepers for the love of money, wealth, and power. I'm fed up with them people. I'm fed up with them. It's disgusting. They make life ugly. They're ugly. The ugliest of ugly can be. You might be looking at something that you think is beautiful, but once you pull back the quote-unquote skin, it's ugly. I don't want to come back to that. Anyway, let's listen to this fella's story for a moment.
It's 6:30 a.m. and Peter Moyer Sr., age 62, heads out with Superman under his arm.
Have a good day, brother. How you doing, small brother? My name, Moya, in Spain means winner or champion. I started that limousine business out of the fluke, and we just flourished. It just flourished. And my name of the company was SP Transportation, strictly professional. I've had big names like Diana Ross, Holly Berry, Carlos Santana, Bette Midler, Barry Manilow. They were all my clients. And then my wife got sick. And some of my big clients said, "Pete, don't shut the company down. We got plans." No brainer. My wife needed me right then and there. So I had to shut down. She needed me 24 hours. She was on dialysis, and I was getting 2 hours of sleep a night. I was taking care of her, going to work to try to get some bills paid, and went through my savings. Doctors ate up $65,000 in 4 months.
Doctors ate up $65,000 in 4 months. I just get pillaged of my belongings in the tens of thousands of dollars as increments to push me into deeper and dire poverty, so I become one of those savages swinging on power lines in the inner city because I will own nothing and have nothing. Yeah.
In between that time, we got separated, me and my wife.
With $1,300 from his disability.
Well, yeah, because his money ran out. Right? His money ran out. That's what happened. No money? Pfft, get out of here.
Pension.
Right?
He was also supporting his best friend's widow.
So after all that, he was getting $1,300 on a disability pension, helping to support his friend's widow, and then the do-gooders came in and did this. The do-gooders.
Then happened what has driven many people to the streets. A rent increase from $700 to $1,500.
Call it good business. 700 and what did he say? 50 or just 700? Either or, $750 to $1,500. Yeah. Kind of like what I'm facing. Double the money. I need $4,500 a month to pay rent for another rickety down broken house with a rotten porch. And all the drama that goes around it. I'm just saying. And when you move in, chances are you're going to find out that the electrical outlets are no good. The piping's no good, and then you're going to be fighting with your landlord to get them fixed, and then they're going to be gaslighting you because you're bitching and complaining, and then they're going to say get out in the yard because that's your responsibility, not mine, even though it's major extreme yard maintenance, right? And then they're going to use the city against you to kick you out because now instead of $4,500 a month, the rent is $7,000 a month. But that's okay because the immigrant family will just be moved in on the top floor like sardines, with the UN soldiers moved in on the bottom floor like sardines, and the landlords will continue getting rich, and the people like the social workers and the cops and the hospital staff and the ones that traffic into human beings, whether it's through snuff movies, whether it's through murder in the house, whether it's through medical kidnappings, whether it's through illegal child apprehensions, whether it's all done through gang stalking from one group to another group to another group. But if you take the time to look past that rotten skin that's made to look beautiful and so prestigious and like fine wine, the epitome what is right in society, you begin to see the ugliness behind it. And you realize that you're not dealing with normal human beings, far from it. It's a modge-podge of a whole bunch of mixed up God knows what that's destructive and self-serving, self-centered, self-absorbed, and scandalous, including the courts, being that they like to throw that word around at you when you come back and you challenge them.
In 3 months.
The last 2 years I've lived in and out of some shelters and on the street in my car. I saved one of my town cars in my company And I was living in there, and here recently, a month ago, the car finally took a kaput on me, and I couldn't afford to fix it. So I had the junkyard come pick it up, and I came straight. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was sleeping on the streets behind the building. This goes in the garbage.
During the day, Peter likes to go to the Justa Center, an NGO for homeless seniors. Here he can get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and just as importantly, air conditioning, which is a relief when temperatures outside are as high as 48 degrees Celsius this summer. Rudy Solis is one of the directors at the Justa Center. He himself was homeless for 5 years. The Justa Center helped him to get back on his feet. Those were very different times.
Are you over 45 years old and live in Canada?
Himself was homeless for 5 years. The Justa Center helped him to get back on his feet. Those were very different times.
It's become really bad. Before COVID, we were able to move people in. It was easier for us to move them in. There was more government vouchers, there was more government assistance. COVID hit and put a stop to that. And then the after COVID is the effect of these apartment complexes going up sky high. And people on Social Security, their limit is $800. And if you're making $800 a month and all of a sudden your rent goes up $200 more, well, your neighbor can pay it, but you're facing homelessness. For the first time in your life, you're being evicted and put on the street. And there's nobody thinks twice about it. We had a 90-year-old lady that called for all her life. She'd never been homeless. She never knew nothing about it until the new landlords bought it, the new owners bought it, and they gave her 10 days to leave. They evicted her. 10 days. And she was put on the street.
90 years old.
Men and women over 55 who live alone run the biggest risk of becoming homeless in the USA. Young people become homeless too, but the elderly tend to die more quickly on the streets, largely due to their ailments and illnesses.
And that's the agenda.